before I start doing a lot of talking. I'm gonna warn y'all right now. I know it was like a running gag during my old Ace Attorney streams that I could never remember like the voice that I did for Gumshoe, but I could remember the other characters. I don't know how I voiced any of these characters now that it's been too long. Not that it really matters, I'm not a voice actor, but I don't remember. So if you happen to be watching maybe one of my old VODs and this is the future and now you're watching this one and you're like, wow, Mika, you sure don't even sound anything the same. That's why, okay? There was like how many weeks in between streams? Probably 3. Not happening. Yeah. Foreign musician performed with the musician that the musician's manager was shot during the performance and Emma was there, except she wasn't there. Somehow his body was moved and Emma was there, but she wasn't there. And the murder was blamed on the blind kid with the foreign musician. Yeah, that, pretty much. Let's just play it, Polo. And now we're going to court, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna have to look over the court record. I tried looking over a synopsis online, but meh. This stream has already been too long, you know? It's already been too much. You know, hold on. I'm adjusting my screen here. Oh, Jesus. Don't worry, that was me. That was me moving this with me around. But what I want to know is, where's the caveman? Well, he's in there, and we're out here, and he's the sheriff, and I just remembered we're out here. Court is now in session for... How do I say that? Oh, shit, I didn't configure my, hold on. Mika McCool streamer. Wait, no, my controller is plugged in. Why is it not responding? Hey, Desmime. You getting these hot, sexy button presses? Oh, shit. Well, there we go. Machi Tobai, Your Honor. The pixie of the arpeggio. That's how you say that. I've heard that word before. I just got scared. Right. His trial. Court is in session. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, Herr Judge. Still don't speak German. Herr Forehead. It's not German, that's like French. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. My opening statement, Ja. Mika, did you give up trying to become a princess? I don't want to talk about it! No, someone on Twitter was messaging me and they're like, hey Mika, look at this guide on how to get the princess ending in Princess Maker 3, and I was like, don't fucking tempt me. I can't just do 8 Princess Maker 3 streams. I can't. I won't. What's your opening statement? Statement. Me? No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Yes. Say, you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? Huh? I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? Yeah, that'd be pretty fucked up. I guess you could say hope you feel better. Because it doesn't imply that they'd be cured. It just implies that they would feel better. And they'll just be like, yeah, I'll probably feel better once all the drugs kick in. You'd only be kicking them when they're down. What are you talking about? Oh, actually, I'm going to visit someone who's terminally ill. Judge, why are we talking about this right now? Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son. The Chief Justice? His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. And tell him to get well soon. I thought saying moving. I might saying something. Did anyone hear that but not see that? Who just followed? Was my alert box, did it pop up? I might say gun? I didn't see any of that. Did you guys see that? Whoever just followed. Thanks. The alert didn't show? Son of a fucking bitch. Let me see if I can fix that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. It should be working because it worked last time. Is it just me or does the game look slightly blurry? Does it? I think it's just pixelated. I'm like, yeah, that might just be what the...
Thanks for the sex, homie.
I think maybe the alerts are fucked up. Considering all we got was thanks for the... Holy shit! Let me try putting the alerts back in. Oh my god, that's so funny. Here, let me pause. Shut up. Why don't grown-ups ever? Why don't grown-ups ever? I don't know, Trucy. Why don't grown-ups ever? I'm gonna try re-entering the alert boxes real quick. Sorry, I'm literally switching between tabs. How y'all doing? Everyone doing okay? Enjoying the stream so far? Not what a sound you want to hear with your parents around. Take it up with Bonesaw. Tell him to quit donating 69 bits. It's not like I'm gonna tell him to stop. I'm alright, glad to hear it. Anyway, those alerts are back up, so, I'll see if they work. Where is the fucking Asian Andrew 90 the 4th? He could help me with this right now. Here, let me see if my Streamlabs is working. Asian...
Thanks for the sex, homie.
Thanks for the... Thanks for the... Why the fuck is that like that? Thanks for the... Holy shit! Oh my god. This is so fucking funny! Thanks for the... Just fucking thanks for the... Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me just manually fucking put this back in. Serious, homie? Is you serious? Okay. Thanks for the... You know what, Boatsa? Go ahead. Keep spamming 69 bits. See where that gets you. Except not right now, because I have to pull the... I might as well just have my personal Streamlabs closed for right now. Because... Well... Hold on now. Let me copy and paste. Hopefully this will work now. Hey, Bonesaw, donate 69 bits. It'll be funny. Like, do it right now. It'll be super funny. Like, it'll be such a good bit. If you've donated 69 bits.
Thanks for the sex.
Hey, it's working! Yay! Did it work? Thanks for the only guy I know. Thank you for the 100 bits. That's super awesome of you. I don't know why that was fucked up. That's really weird. Maybe Streamlabs changed? It might have. I might have to... Let me go ahead and re-enter my own personal Streamlabs alerts, just in case. But also, y'all quit following my Streamlabs. I'm following my Twitch. Even though I literally told you to. Hold on now. Need the link for that. Maybe I'll tell Andy to just cut this whole part out later. Or maybe I won't. Anyway, now we're good. Those should be fine. Let's get back into it. Why don't grown-ups ever? Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for? Andy, please cut. Andy, okay, cut. Okay, cut. Okay, now real Apollo Justice time. Or like put something really funny on the screen so all of that was really funny. Like, I don't know, put a dancing snowman or something. In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Yeah, let's wrap this murder case up quickly if we can. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement briefly. You're in luck, Herr Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case. Romain Latousse, age 35, the global manager for diva songstress L'Amour. The cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. The court accepts this into evidence. Latouse's autopsy report added to the court record. 45 caliber, that's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet. He was more than knocked off his feet. He was knocked dead. I'm in a giggly mood, everyone. Just please bear with me. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the murder is hilarious. The damage. Fuck! The damage. Ah! The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition should have been much worse considering. Two shots were fired. One shot missed. One shot missed. And the other... the other penetrated... Oh god, I'm getting lightheaded. And passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found on the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit. I see. The court accepts this evidence. Haha, murder case. Both sides, thank you for the 100 bits. Dead white rabbits, dead white rabbits, dead white rabbits. If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use. Really? Yeah, apparently, weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body. The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the-
Time to take a piss!
The judge is a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on our Princess Maker 3 streams. Damn you right, though. Hey, but thanks for the fucking billets. 545, that's a very specific number. Any reason you chose that many? But thank you. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. But that's impossible. I wish he'd do that to me. The thing you did to the wall. I wish he'd do that to me. Jesus fucking Christ!
Then, am I the hot dog again? I am the hot dog, aren't I?
Bonesa, thank you for the 750 bits. Help. Oh my god. Help. Help! Exactly. This murder was... impossible. For all but one person. One person? That is, of course, the defendant, Machito Bai. Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Let the witness please take the stand. Your name and profession, please. Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow. Security at the concert, you say? Some security I was couldn't even stop a murder. Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know. I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered, and we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony, if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. All right. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. And Emma was there, but she was not there, and she's in there, and we're out here, and he's the sheriff, and I just remembered we were here. It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
But that door was the only way out of the room, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
How can they say that Machi did it?
Looks like we need a bit more information. Very well, the defense may... You got it, dude. I need to look at the court record, actually. What do we got here? Oh. I think my... Okay. Well, I sure did just fling my headphones right off my head. Dinner Guy 101. These bits are for the hype train and Emma's cute hair. How about Emma's cute everything? Have you seen her? How fucking cute is she? Jesus Christ. Just my opinion. No, but for real though, she's fucking cute. Yeah, I think my... Hold up. I think my controls are fucked up. Nothing's doing anything. Up, left, down, right. B, A. Y, X. Start, select, L, R. I'm not sure what's going on here. There we go! Yay! Alright, let's see what we got here. The lyric sheet. Oh yeah, and these like coincide with some shit in the murder, whatever, it's boring. The postcard. Oh yeah, it has the lady in it. She's there. It's probably not important. Investigation request. To ensure the efficiency and secrecy of our investigation, the bearer is hereby ordered to speak to no one outside of the investigation concerning any details of the case. Cool, a gun. Neato! Time to go show it to Emma. Not Emma. Trucy. Hey, little girl. You want to see a really big gun? You want to stare down the barrel of a really big gun? Yeah. Neato. She knows how to use a gun. Maki Tobayu. His name is pretty much the same in Japanese. I see. Cool and neat and cool. Mixing board, not interesting. The fucking key ring. Autopsy report. Who needs one of those? 35. Died between 99 and 30. Okay, whatever. Crime photo. Ooh, spooky. Alright. Good enough for now. Let's press these statements. We were let in, though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. Ouch. I gave the Fraulein special permission to be I gave the Fraulein's- I'm sorry, I just read- I gave the Fraulein special, and I was like, what is that? That sounds delicious. But he said, I gave the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So other outsiders were there then. And then... the Fraulein special. The way he says hold it, specifically Apollo says hold it, it just sounds like he's asking for someone to hold the elevator. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting, I was eating snackoos. No snacking in the court, and you're sure the shots came from Lamoira's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here, bitch! Here, this'll keep you quiet. Katonk. Ah, thanks. Same. Just doesn't even give a fuck. He's like, oh, thanks for the food. How about it, Emma? We were right there. Hard to be mistaken about that. Please, either talk or eat. Not both at the same time. Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Okay. Rock? Blaring, yes. When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days. You know, guys, I hate to say it, and I never wanted to say it, and I really never planned on saying it during any of my streams, but okay, Boomer. Judge is in fact a boomer. I'm not at all surprised. That's right. When we went to the dressing room, music was blaring the speaker on the wall. They piped sound from the stage to the backstage to the speakers. That speaker sounds like shit. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the governors with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. Dude, I don't have time for that right now. I always have the backstage monitors full volume. When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime. If you could hear that music playing, then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Alright, Clavier. Blah, blah. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. I examined the scene and How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door, so how could the killer have fled the scene? Through the ceiling. Ah, the ceiling. But the air vent was too small. Who could possibly? Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child. Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. Pearl did it. She's not even here, but it was Pearl Faye. Sorry, my throat's kind of clammy. My nose was running earlier today. That's probably why. The pixie of the arpeggio flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture! Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there, you should know, Herr Forehead. And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found in the air vent grill. Traces that had recently been opened. Wait, what? Hey, Mighty Carrick, you posted this dog. And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant, Machitobai's fingerprints. What? Clack, 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 clack. Order, order, order. That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Herr Forehead, what fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven, and that one is our pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience. So this was his decisive evidence. Quite decisive indeed. I know the circumstances under which the body was found. I was there. An examination of the crime scene was enough to nail down the killer? I'm sure they have a good reason. They must have had a good reason to arrest Machi. And I'm going to find out what it was. What, was that not a good enough reason to arrest him just now? I know that was the generic, like, end of testimony dialogue, but, like, that seemed like a pretty good reason to arrest him. Something else was posted quite clearly. This dog! Anyway, let's see. I wonder... How Quaint also posted this dog. Very nice. I'm sorry guys, I kind of have a bug in my throat I can't quite get out. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. Can't present profiles or anything. I was on security backstage. that checks. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. ShadowGamer25 posted this dog. How's it going? I don't know what the contradiction is. I'm already stuck. Yee-haw! I went to the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. Examined the scene and determined the only defendant could have done it. Wait, couldn't it, the revolver? Cause how the fuck would he have fired that? He's like 2 feet tall and has like glass bones. Am I like off? That sounds like probably the gun on the statement. Okay, cool. So someone else said the same thing, so it's fine. I was like, that little bitch. He tries to fire that gun, he would break into 17 pieces. No, I just want to... Thank you. Just joined, is this the Governor's trial? It sure is. Aw, fucking hell. I can see nothing faulty. I guess I'll fist my asshole then. I have to be a butthole now and do a fucking save state. Jesus. Alright, alright. Music didn't stop. I know, right? But the gun, though! How is that not the thing? This is the dialogue we already had, right? About the grate. Stop trying to distract me. What about that stupid gun? They claim he fired that gun twice and was still able to climb into an air vent as a 13-year-old child. This is part of the reason why people don't like this case. Yeah, that's nuts. Little 13-year-old boy who's like 2 feet tall and has glass bones. And he's gonna fire that fucking thing twice and then climb into an air vent? Like, yeah, no problem. Though, I don't know, maybe underneath his little flowy angelic garment, he's like ripped as fuck. Don't forget he's fucking blind, too. Maybe he's faking it. Only people invited to the concert in some way are allowed backstage. He's like, oh, excusez-moi, je suis blind. Where am I? Hell. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shot, 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 shots. Everybody! I went to the room filled with playing rock music, found the body, I examined the scene, determined that only the defendant could have done it. That's just not fucking true, though. Let me take a look at the crime photo. Shit. Not what I meant to do. Did you press all the statements? I sure did. Ugh, this is frustrating. Gotta think about it. You do sometimes have to press in certain orders? Yeah, that could be. Where'd the other bullet go? Did we find the other bullets? Not that it really matters right now, but... It usually does matter if a gun was fired 3 times and someone gets shot once. It's like, well, what about those other 2 bullets? The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes. You were there! That's right. What was a detective doing on a security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert, my thoughts exactly, but orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious? My keys, that whole morning, no, the whole day was ruined. It's all because someone stole my keys. Look how fucking sweaty he is. Like, holy hell. He's not sweating, he's fucking melting. Someone put Clavier in the fucking microwave. I couldn't ride my hog into the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. There he goes again. Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them? Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander into a murder victim's hand on their own! He's not wrong. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? If your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect. Okay, this is not... Me too. Same. I'm assuming he's singing, and I don't know how he's singing that, and I'm not gonna sing it. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was, like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen, so I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task. I see. I can accept that. Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on their hands? Aeroaesthetic? Aeroaesthetic? Thank you for following. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. Now, I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. It can't be over already! Very well, I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence, the prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain. Apollo, they've got us in the ropes already! We'd better come up with something quick! I know! Think, what can get us out of this? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that... Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now. This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof? I still just want to be like the gun. But that's all I've got. Because tiny baby Machi Tobai cannot fire that gun, but I'm assuming... Call a witness? Who the fuck am I calling? Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely sure? Save state, save state. Y'all, oh my god. My goodness. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. But why is everyone like freaking out? I just went with what Quaint said. I trust Quaint. That's too bad, because there was a witness. Oh, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not? Because I'm the only one in the world who knows this. What's going on? I just talked to him, and now... He's alive! Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is Red. What? Hey, I remember this. So that's cool. The victim said this before he died? Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is that Herr Jorge says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. But it's the truth! He said it! I even told you about it, but apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job. That's enough! Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution, I hope you're right, failure carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for? Ah, there's no backing out now. Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice. It's this beach. Wait, do I have my microphone in? Take that. I don't think I do. I don't think I have it set up to be hooked up to my microphone. La mémoire. Recall Mr. Letus's last words. The witness is a siren. Siren? Aha! He meant the siren! That's right, the siren of the blood. Lamoire was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness. I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, my claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lamoire to the witness stand. Lamoire would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. She's cute. It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom. You're too kind. You can speak English? Yes, I can. Though I'm not very good. There is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language. Please imagine that she said it exactly like that. Nor where I studied it. What does she mean she doesn't know? Hey, Emerald Glow. I, too, thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lamoire suffers from amnesia. Amnesia? What a twist! Lamoire is not my true name, yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage.
Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought.
As lauded singer Lamoire, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Success. Yet I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's past. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lamoire. You know, except, like, going to jail. Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I'm being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Lamoire, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify, yet that young gentleman with that white forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Wink. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying. I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying. There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat and refrain from detaining her here. I'm sorry, her here. And refrain from detaining her here longer than need be.
Wow, you just got badder, Apollo. Way to go.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet. Lamoire wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what. Alright, let's press these statements. Boy! But you must have seen something. Mr. Letus named you. Mr. Letus? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lamoire, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night... Let's see. Oh man. By the way, do you guys remember back when I lived in Japan and I used to drink like a shit ton of green tea in every stream? I haven't been able to do that in a while, but I am drinking green tea right now, and I gotta tell you, I feel great. Oh man, I just feel wonderful. It was a great concert. You heard me sing? Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Oh my god, look at Apollo. He's so fucking cute. Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One on my gavel would be nice. Herr Judge. What's this? It's my autograph. We'll keep this trial moving. Oh, my grandchild would be so happy. Apparently his grandson is a big fan. Let's continue, shall we? If you would, la mouach. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance. You did not return backstage once. Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There were many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Machi. Wah wah. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latus's death, yet he is not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. Well, he also, like, doesn't fucking speak English or whatever, so they're probably like, he died, and he's just like, huh? What is died? The questioning hasn't gotten very far. We sat there waiting. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latus died. Of course, investigations require some security, but Mr. Latus was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern. Oh, I guess she probably translated. Allow me to apologize, but please understand, keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand. Think what doesn't ring true about her testimony. It's hard to imagine her lying. She might be lying, but she's hiding something. Ba 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 ba. Ugh. I'm sorry, I was yawning. Do you guys remember when I was on this kick where people were like, don't yawn, it makes me sleepy, and so I just started yelling every time I had to yawn? Yeah, I'll try not to do that again. I'm guessing no one is asking how the blind guy shot someone and went into a vent because he had no idea existed because he's blind, right? Yeah, I don't... They're just like, no one else... It's basically like, no one else could have done it. So we're gonna assume this little blind child just shot someone with this huge mega gun and then climbed into an air vent. Because who the fuck else did it? I saw nothing. That night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Let me see. Oh man, do I have to press? I might have to press the statements again. Let me try that. You have the evidence? Oh shit. See, I don't know if it was gonna be like last time. Let me see then. I saw nothing. That night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. I just saw it. Did you? Oh, God. I have to big brain mode again. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. Which statement is it? Anyone want to help me out? I don't want to take forever. So on stage, and I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. The third? Okay, so it is this one, which I had a stinking suspicion about, because it's like the only one that could really have a contradiction. I'm just not sure how to point it out. I did not return backstage after the second set. Oh, is it this thing? It's gotta be this thing, right? Objection? Hold on. Wait, let me... let me use connected physical microphone. Let's see. Yeah. Wonder if it... Objection! Shit! I meant to do it that time. Damn you, Apollo, quit interrupting me! I'm sorry, Lamoire, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not? Why, that's Lamoire's. She was wearing it for her song. Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? What? This brooch was found after the murder took place, at the very scene of the crime. What? Lamoire, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night. What is the meaning of this? Lamoire, please explain. Lamoire? Je suis un pamplemousse. She says English is quite difficult. That trick's not gonna work here. Deux croix avant les poissons, je veux manger du fromage. Chuchuya. Emerald Glow, thank you for subscribing for 6 months. Holy shit. 6 months, but after this month, should I stay sub here or sub to your channel when you start streaming there? Up to you. You could do both, or you could just sub to mine. Anyone here speak wingdings? Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact. What now? Est-ce que tu manges mon bébé? In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment. What? Mon bicyclette est la bibliothèque. Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak. Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Ah! Is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Okay, he's dying again. How many times do we have to watch this dude die? Yipes, Emma, what was that? Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? Huh? No? I could have sworn I heard a door close. I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you. So this was when your brooch dropped? That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. But that's ridiculous! You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch? Her forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence. So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice. Her forehead shouting, "Who's there?" no doubt. A horrible voice indeed. Ugh. I closed the door immediately. Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony. That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lamoire, you did look into the room, though, right? Yes. Testifies to what you saw. Very well, though it was only the briefest of glimpses. When my performance is finished, I went backstage for just a moment. A wall? Was there a wall there? Pamplemousse is what in English? A division or partition, I believe. It was a large dressing room divided into two halves. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna insert shitty French words from French 1 when she says things in wingdings, alright? Enjoy. Disclaimer, I don't speak French. And the murder took place in the inside half. I guess that partition might have hidden the body. Then I was led... Wonder what it is. Let me look at her hand. Nope, I can't see her hand. It's gotta be her face? Oh, I think I saw it that time! What the fuck is going on? You have Sharingan or something? He's perceiving! Do it again. There it is, there it is, there it is!
Gotcha!
The late Mr. Latouse's body, you say? Yes? You know something more about Mr. Latouse's death than you're saying. What? I could see you're trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latouse have to be shot? One moment, Lamoire. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latouse have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something, I knew it! Lamoire, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but your words just now contradict your testimony. Huh? How could that be? Because you didn't know how he died. Take this! Lamoire contradicted her own testimony, and I have the evidence to prove it. The gun? I'm not sure what to prove. Like, what proves? I guess it would be this? The investigation request would prove that, you know, she shouldn't know that he was shot, she just knows that he died. Right? Am I fucking am I Twinkie? I was trying to say am I tweaking, but I said am I Twinkie? So, yeah. No, you're right? Alright. Am I twinking? Tell me, Lamoire. That came out really gruff for some reason. How did you know he had been shot? Well, Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, no one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could you have known? Gag order? Yeah, I'm looking for one of those for myself. Wink? Gag order? More like gag order. Lamoire, you aren't hiding something from this court, I hope. That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Now I remember. Please allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth. She looks kind of pale, huh? She saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall, and I knew Mr. Latouche had been shot. Sounds like bullshit, but okay. But why aren't you letting me press this? Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Oh shit! Why does laughter trigger it? Yeah, I want to know too! Only a glimpse at you knew there were bullet holes? Yes, I recognized them immediately. I've seen bullet holes before, you know. You've traveled the world as a singer, you must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country. I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days. That's really cool. I hope I get to travel like Lamar someday. I always did think when Mika laughs, it sounds like hold it over and over again. Okay, whatever, blah blah blah. Stop talking about your music, no one cares. Maybe I should go on a Chords of Steel tour too. Oh man, I would love to see a concert that's just Apollo yelling. Okay. How could she have seen that? Because of the way that the door is opening, she wouldn't have seen the bullet holes. Okay, this is bullshit.
Objection!
I've had enough. Lamuar, they call you the shit, but lies are hardly becoming of such a creature. A put-down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice. Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, Ja. Come on, can't I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lamuar, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes, but they were in the wall the door is on. Huh? You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. York. Lamuar. Yes. I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you've been holding back something. And I must tell you what it is that I saw? Yes. That the happenings in this trial are being recorded, and I'm certain it will be on the news in Belgiornia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing. But she knew how Mr. Latouche died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamuar. Very well. Lamuar, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall. It'll be on the news in DiGiorno. Ah, yes, I'm a singer. I come from the distant land of DiGiorno. I'm sorry, we don't know the word delivery in my language. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 slots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime, and the killer was a grown person, you say? This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Herr Jorge. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamuar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy.
This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Alright, let's press those statements. So you were heading toward the dressing room. Yes. So this I wish that I pressed the statement, I just ended at that, and Paul was like, so you were heading toward the dressing room? Yes. And then it went back to the cross-examination screen. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Emma and I heard those shots. I was on my way back. There was something like a little window there, that's how I saw it. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it's said, yes. You need not worry, Lamoire, your choice of words is impeccable. There's a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail? That little window on the wall. The one that says, do not open in big letters. For some fucking reason. I saw the crime from there. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. You were certain you heard the 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot much closer. And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradiction so far. It all happened to the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. But it wasn't Machi. Go on. It wasn't Machi who shot. Are you sure? Do you think Machi could? Have you fucking seen him? He weighs like 6.5 pounds. Yes, quite certain. Ahahaha. It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object? Yeah, Polo, what were you thinking? Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamoire has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see, it was a grown person. I know it was! A grown person. That's a little vague. I'm so sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man, a young man. And you're sure of that? Stormbringer 15 posted this dog. Yes, his voice was quite clear. Voice? Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche? Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? Emerald Glow posted this dog. If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known. Comet Sorcerer posted this dog. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Silver Stripes 96 posted this dog. Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi. Raspberry Bell posted this dog. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. How Quaint posted this dog. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony? It's pretty good. Comet Sorcerer posted this dog. Well, I'd have to say it's pretty good. Vital, even. This shows that the shooter wasn't Machi. Surely you can't be serious, Herr Warhead. Why not? Mika forgot me. Oh, Momizi Bashiri posted this dog. Dinner Guy 101 posted this dog. How many fucking dogs y'all gonna post? I understand why you would want to protect Machi, yet remember you are the siren of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean?
Apollo, what's he talking about?
How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The state of the room? Yes, and when the murder took place... That do not open sign really cracks me up. That window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure. Lamoire, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense, but my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser. But she's the only eyewitness we have! So you say, and the victim named her the siren as the witness? That's right! That's what Mr. Latouche! We heard your claim, we even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Herr Judge! Yes. The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility. But if Lamoire can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case. Danke. Now, where were we? Yes, I would like to hear from Fraulein Detective again. Wait, let me hear Lamoire's testimony one last time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as such a time as a need arises. This witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry, I could not be of more assistance. At last, back to the real trial. Ready, Herr Jorge? I hope I didn't just miss my only chance. Fraulein Detective, how far had we gotten up until we were so rudely interrupted?
Don't ask me!
I dislike saying the same thing twice, and I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky.
I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Letus's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling.
Yes, there was only one door in the room, and a witness, you, was standing in front of it.
That air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through.
I certainly would have a difficult time.
You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant.
A virtuoso performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case. Though reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest.
Circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right. Apollo, remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre.
She's right. Why did Mr. Letus's body disappear from the room and end up on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less. A perceptive observation, Herr Judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough. Get a nose for things.
The judge sure seems pleased with himself.
Very good, Fraulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer?
I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamoure's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim, and Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant.
Lamoure's song? Yes, the guitar's serenade. You noticed its code, too, did you not?
Its code?
All the events that day followed the lyrics to our song. Beep, beep, boop. First, the keys my heart held onto so tightly were stolen. Then, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Letus's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. That's mad. It's like a whole story out of some fairy tale. I admit I'd forgotten about the song, but there it is now, waiting for me. The grand finale, as it were.
Hey, you know, I was the one who first noticed that.
I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs, but killing? It's a wild world out there, Herr Judge. Very well. We've heard one song and dance, let's get on to the next. The cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm gonna be doing much singing. This is getting too silly even for Ace Attorney standards. Oh, I'm sorry, do you need me to go back to cross-examining a parrot? We'll get into that. Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics? I didn't believe it myself, but it can't just be a coincidence. It is as Fraulein Detective says. Let us begin with the first verse. If you would, Fraulein Detective.
What? You want me to sing it?
You are the witness, Shah. Or did you want me to sing? I warn you, my fee as vocalist is not trivial.
Fine, fine.
Let's look at the first part of the lyrics, shall we? When you stole away the keys my heart held onto so tight. Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped keyring was stolen that morning. I feel like Clavier's just been hitting on Emma this entire time. Like, he's just like, hey, bring the detective back to the stand. No particular reason. Next, we go to the right page of the lyrics sheet. It's an elaborate ask out. That would be pretty funny. Where we find, burning on in my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. And then we get to see Clavier looking like a fucking Dorito. As we know, shit. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Mr. Latusse's life was taken by a bullet. Bravo, Fraulein Detective. Your singing is not bad. Now, for the finale, dinner and a movie. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Latousse was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. No series of coincidences could be so well conceived. He's right, scientifically speaking. What would Waki have said? That concert was whack. Whack. It's hard to argue when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter... Does the prosecution have any idea why you do all this? You want my scientific opinion? Quote, no clue. Quote. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble, some deep reason, a deep reason. Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar. Unforgivable acts. Yeah, fuck killing someone. But my guitar, though? The diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this on just a whim. Fraulein Detective, I take offense at the... Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say. Yes, this crime was planned for sure. For sure. No one in the country had a motive to kill the victim. But Mr. Latousse spoke English. He may have come to the country before. Didn't that come up once? I feel like it did. It was like, hey, haven't you been here? I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Great. You see? No one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. It was me! It does seem quite difficult to imagine, unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say? Can you two quit hitting on each other? We're trying to have a trial here. You did this to promote your song? Of course not, and I'm quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. They're even in my textbook at school. And I'd never heard of them. What does that say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. Okay. What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? There were two holes there. That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would have been difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range. He's blind! Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. You can't be serious.
Machi, he can't see! That's why he missed!
It's the only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring at the time, Ja. Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound. A blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? Raise an objection because this is bullshit. Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. And sure, someone saw him shoot the guy. And sure, as he died, he was like, Machi Tobai, why would you shoot me? But I still don't think it was him. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. It's shocking he didn't just split in half, if that were the case. A convincing argument, to be sure. Take that, smug prosecution.
Apollo?
Huh? What?
That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim, aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it?
Oh. It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Cripes, I really put my foot in it this time. But let's get to the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add to her testimony. Right. Damn, Apollo, you're a fucking dumbass. For the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind. You can't see he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof, per se. Huh? You've merely raised a possibility. Fraulein Detective has made a most logical conjecture based on the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent. But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you would care to explain. He certainly seems sure of himself. Recall the crime scene, if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobai. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder. But that's bullshit! Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out for yourself. You only need to consider what the stepladder was doing there. Can we just go back to arguing about whether it was a ladder or a stepladder? I'd rather talk about that. Objection! That's a stepladder! Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by a stepladder. Well, Herr Forehead.
Thanks for the sex, homie.
Out of ammunition, perhaps? I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood.
Apollo, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need. We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place.
Providing the shooter was sighted would do it. That would take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence that can prove that, though? The gun. The gun has a sign in it that says, must be able to see to use gun. Let me see. Wait, how could he have crossed over to where the ladder is with all this shit in the way? He would have just fallen on his ass, don't you think? Is it just me? I'm pretty sure this must be it, because how the fuck would he get to the other side of the room? Maybe save? That's bullshit. Why the fuck would I ever save states? Doing save states is for pussies. The window says do not open, so he couldn't see it. I'm gonna do the map. Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge. I think it's crime scene photo. What? What? Can you check it? Sure. How would this prove that the victim had sight? Do you want the answer? I assumed it was the map. Yeah, sure. I might just be tweaking by being like, how could a blind person not just be like, better make a run for it, trips over everything. It's the crime photo. How is it the crime photo? Had to be able to see. Because the murderer washed away what he was writing? Oh, boo. I thought it was just smeared. That typo? Wait, what typo? Was it on one of these? Oh, people who don't save. You know what, Emoglobin64, I won't call you out. Don't worry. No one will ever know, except for everyone here. As I knew you would, Herr Jorge. What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because na 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 na. Here's the evidence, get off my dick. You know, I wonder about that, if it hears a loud noise. Achoo! Take that! Oh shit, I'm gonna start having a lot of fun with the microphone feature, aren't I? This is that evidence! The photograph of the crime scene? I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. Then perhaps you'd best show us this something? Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, Ja. You don't gotta tell me twice. Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is... this. The contradiction is right here. The smeared blood stains? I thought it was just my blurry vision. Same. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head, much like a gesture I've seen many times in this court. It's almost as if he wrote something. Aha! I get it! At least I think I get it. Get what, Fraulein?
When Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write but in his own... But what would he write it in... But... Bleh. And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh?
Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. That does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion.
Drat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I. No one has anything else to say. About what? So, the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was... But what did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machito Bai, is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see, yet up until now. It seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviners are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred. During our concert, apparently this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here.
Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us.
I've got an idea. Let's rock. Let's fuck. with these documents. But before that, let's rock! With these documents, I have a question for the Fraulein detective. Are you free tonight? What kind of wine do you like? If I may. Do you like boxers or briefs?
What?
Tell me, why do you think that Machitobai is blind?
Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind.
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamar lead him all around by the hand all the time?
No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Machitobai. According to this, Machitobai can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy. His blindness was nearly a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well. But you said... What did I say exactly? Herr Jorge, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fraulein Detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider Machitobai sees, and he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problem with this.
But what about the bullet holes in the wall?
Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Herr Jorge neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just been flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Herr Jorge. Sexy time. I knew you didn't have what it took.
You jerk! Just what was I in here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize.
Oh, sorry.
That's no way to apologize.
He's angered the Trucy now. Look out. If we can please end the bickering now.
Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me.
But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant. Oh, don't say that.
Aha, what? This blood stain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right?
That seems to be what happened, yes.
We might be able to find out what was really written here.
Really? You can do that?
That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood.
Ah, yes, have we done those tests yet?
As if I'm gonna tell you.
The bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now. Oh, they fucking. Are Apollo and Clavier gonna fuck? Oh, they fucking.
Right, go for it, Apollo.
Huh? I have to do the test?
You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple.
A chemical that reacts to blood. I have heard of this somewhere. Yeah, probably from Emma. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it! What if it says DiGiorno?
Right? Ready.
I mean, right? Ready?
It's easy as pie.
Just touch the screen in order to spray an area. Also, kick down the fourth wall while you're at it. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me.
Apollo, your hand's shaking. ShadowGamer25, you posted this dog.
Let's do this. I spy 142. That's my favorite one. Wow, it really works.
This must be the power of science.
It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is, if the killer was a robot. Imagine the courtroom just flies off the rails, like, Find the nearest robot. Bring them into the courtroom. 11037. No, this isn't fucking Danganronpa. Doo-doo-doo. Aha, I have it. So, what is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes, but why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that? Good show, Fraulein Detective. Rock on. How quaint. Thank you for donating 147 bits. Hoo-hee! Hoo-hoo-hoo. Huh? Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Darian, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. Nah, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's case was airtight, or so it seems. Yet, if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh, wait, I know. What if Machitobai is really an undercover agent? What if Machitobai is really an undercover Interpol agent? That would be a possibility. A possibility, yes, and one that would mark him as the killer for certain. Why did Mr. Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we wait for Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machitobai. What are you talking about? Fraulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could in fact see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you. You had me until the last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, Herr Horhid? Huh? Me? Machitobai pretended he was blind. Do you know why? How could he know?
Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he?
He's known from the start of this trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Oh shit, he became self-aware. Quit, close Destiny, close the game. Oh no, can't. Oh no! Know that the moment I read that report, I knew why. I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Machitobai pretended to be blind, but it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself? Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness? Can I? Because he doesn't have eyes. Got him. Postcard? I don't know. Is it... Yeah, I get that it's called sightseeing. It's implying something since Machi and Lamore had a shtick. Oh. I guess. The answer to this one is dumb, it's so not obvious. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm not a fool for being like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It couldn't be. Good show, Herr Horhid. It seems you've thought of something. Grr, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to clues. Very well, look at this. This is why he was retained. Let's see. I don't know how this makes it. What's a funny loud sound I could make? Do you think it'll work if I just like breathe in the microphone really loud? That didn't work. Gun! Gun didn't work. Take that! What the fuck? That is Lamuar? Lamuar and Machito Bai. Recall their relationship, in particular their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamuar and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was, quote, blind, quote. She led him at all times, never letting him go. At all times? Yet we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't it part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing. Really? Really, it was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamuar. What's this? So you mean to say that Lamuar is... she's... Yes, Your Honor. Lamuar is blind. What? This case is fucking cuckoo cuckoo, Prosecutor Gavin. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. And Jem. Jem is outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Yet I see it is not vast in vain this time. He's quite correct. But that makes no sense. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter and sound or something? Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamuar herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me! I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Bailiff, bring in Lamuar. Lamuar. It pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes. She really can't see? Really? It is true. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world. So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lamuar. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamuar. I see. You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial. What's that? I believe that I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Now, Lamuar, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. Ace Attorney sure is a soap opera. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this, so silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial. I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what.
Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would... She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing. Very well. Does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best if we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay, there was only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Wait, so how did she see the guy getting shot? I don't know, dude. This is so confusing. She's like, I looked through the viewfinder in the wall. I saw nothing.
I looked through the viewfinder, but it's not like I saw anything. I'm fucking blind, dude. Don't be so insensitive.
So you don't know why you went blind? I do not. I may have been born this way, in fact. It's fruitless to attempt to pry into her past, and I might add, it's a delicate subject. I'm not sure we can reasonably expect Mr. Justice to do anything delicately. Hey, man. I was gonna make a sex joke, but I'm not. What am I? I am now is all that I have. It is enough, I think. Sorry, I'm just like, I was gonna make a joke about like some tender fucking or whatever, but it just wasn't that funny. It just wasn't that funny. Emoglobin64 posted this dog. Weren't you too nervous to hit the stage in your condition? No, not at all, surprisingly. It felt natural singing in front of everyone. It's not something just anyone can do. She has talent, that much is quite clear. You might even say she is beloved by the gods of music. Even without light, I live perfectly happy in my world of sound. If that is a talent, as you say, then I think the gods responsible. What about your PR motto? Perhaps your music reminded him of Borginian scenery? No, it's quite the opposite. The opposite? According to my producer, my music has a certain global quality. Global? Multicultural, if you will. Hard to pin to one region. When people listen to it, they picture the country closest to their hearts, which is why my music has reached so many. What a lovely story. Too bad it's bullshit. It sounds like this producer might have known what he was doing after all. My songs are nothing more than a white canvas. To me, the real landscape painter are the listeners. How would you know what a white canvas looks like? You don't know what anything looks like. When I think of that, I do not mind I'm represented. I get it, guys. You don't have to explain to me that words, language. Yeah, one day, thing led quickly to another. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. How does she know what white is? I don't know. She's just heard people say words and things. Language. Was that to protect your image as a landscape painter and sound? That does not matter so much to me, really. But the label is quite concerned about it, I think. A landscape painter who can't see. That's like a pianist who can't play, huh? I'm not sure you can compare your father to Lamoire. The world of commercial music is filled with these little white lies. Nothing is sacred when it comes to publicity. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. Sorry, I'm here now. When you say your staff, do you mean include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice. I believe I know what is bothering a young defense attorney. You were thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Yeah. Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. Oh my god, how many fucking times do I have to watch Mr. Latouche die? This is like the 10th fucking time. I get it. I can probably recite this fucking dialogue in my dreams. The witness is Siren. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. Tisk tisk.
What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There's no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness, siren? We've heard them many times along with the little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? Ugh. That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Order. Recall Lemur's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness? But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Seems convenient. Your Honor, what is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in a session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Grisend, your report, please. Penis. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away.
Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent, so him being Lamour's manager was just a cover, most likely.
There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent was with such a large revolver. So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover cop. I almost said cop. He was on an undercover cop, if you know what I'm saying. Wink. I wonder how that ties into everything.
It's got to tie in somehow, you'd think.
Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. No problem at all, Your Honor. Now I'll be heading out. Wait! Lamour, is something the matter? That voice just now. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him? You aren't saying... That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche, when I heard the gunshots fired... It was him! It was Mr. Darian! Is this some kind of joke? What? No way! Feel that ass. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamour... Man, that really is a twist. Man, right in the middle of the fucking courtroom. Come on, people. Take it out of here. There are kids present. Lamour fingering Darian Crescend. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. You can't do that. That really have been his voice Lemur I heard. She had to finger him to find out. Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it.
Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo.
To be fucking continued. Holy crap. Talk about ending a stream on a high note. Oh my god. Nah, that's gonna be all for my stream today, guys. That was a fucking trip. Oh my god. I'll be back again on Friday. I will be playing more Apollo Justice. I may actually be able to stream this weekend, maybe Saturday. Not sure yet, we'll find out. Just before I go, remember you can follow Games Repainted on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter. Look, there's my @ right there, PRSMAYA. You can also join the Games Repainted Discord. If you don't know how, put !Discord in the chat. You'll get a link to it. Then you'll get a nice ping every time one of us on the team is streaming. You could also follow the Twitter to get notifications when we're streaming from there as well. Or, you know, just follow our Twitch. Whatever it is you need to do to know, to get that notification, whatever works for you, baby. Once again, I should be back Friday, and if not, then I'll definitely... Well, I will be back Friday. I might be here Saturday. So, yeah, should be back Friday. What would that be? Probably around 8:30 Central Time-ish. So, yeah, probably about that time. I'll see you then. Y'all have a good rest of your night, and love you.